meetings for Port Richey City Council Thursday, April 2nd, 2020. At this time, I'd like to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. At this time, we're going to take roll call.
Salacary City Clerk for roll call. Mayor Scott Tremblay.
And for the purposes of roll call, I'm going to say that I'm here in person. And if you're not here in person but here electronically, I want the distinction, please.
Vice Mayor William Dittmer.
Here electronically.
Councilwoman Jenny Sorrell. Let the records show that Councilwoman Jenny Sorrell is not present for tonight's meeting due to a death in the family. Councilman Todd McClary.
Here, in person.
Councilman Tom Kinsella.
Here electronically.
City Attorney James Matthew.
Here in person.
City Manager Vincent Lupo.
Here in person.
At this time, I was going to start with, the first thing I wanted to say is because some folks are here electronically and some are here in person, when people speak, what I'd like to happen is to identify yourself before you speak. So before I would speak, I would say Mayor Scott Tremblay, and then I would say what I'm going to say. So as you speak, and every time you speak, you have to please identify yourself. That having been said, I wanted to open with comments from the general public. If anyone signed up, I didn't know if we had a list. We have no sign-ups from the general public. At this time, I would like to pass the podium over to our city manager, Mr. Lupo, for an update.
City Manager Vince Lupo speaking. I would like the general public to be aware of the following. The City of Port Richey is currently under a local and state of emergency. We are working closely with other city, county, and state officials along with other agencies, including the Department of Health in Pasco, our law enforcement entities, fire, EMS, just to name a few. Port Richey City Hall and the police administrative area is closed to the public. All non-essential staff are working split shifts and we are enforcing social distancing. All city parks' restrooms are closed. Utility billing, drive-up payments are still available, as are bank and online payments. We have installed 3 hand sanitizing stations in City Hall to enhance facility sanitation protocols and to protect both our employees and our citizens. The fire department has adopted Pasco County Fire Rescue Infectious Control Administrative Orders. The fire department facility is closed to the public and family members. Fire and police on-duty personnel are self-monitoring temperatures every 12 hours. The fire department is completing our 214 forms for any COVID-19 activity and potential financial reimbursement from the federal government. Emergency employee decontamination washing stations are in place along with the appropriate guidelines for their utilization. Our ramp is currently open for boating, but our parks will be closed this evening at dusk. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Lupo. Thank you, Mr. Lupo. At this time, it's Mayor Scott Tremblay speaking. I wanted to move on to council business. We have one item, and that's going to be resolution of 2001 regarding communications media technology for city council meetings during COVID-19. And I'm going to pass it over to our city attorney.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. James Matthews, City Attorney. On March 20th, that's a week ago Friday, Governor DeSantis waived the quorum requirement for all municipalities as well as county government. Without the details of the legality of that, but what that allowed us to do as well as the county is to hold public meetings virtually, okay? And which meant that we didn't need to have a quorum present, which was the interpretation of the previous state statutes. In doing so, there's certain complexities to it, but the bottom line is we need to pass a resolution that we can proceed with this as long as the coronavirus issue is before us and we consider it an emergency. So I'm seeking to have this resolution signed. It also can, in accordance with our code, that once the city manager declares an emergency at the most practical time, that we ratify that declaration of emergency. This resolution does nothing more than that. It just allows us to proceed with virtual meetings, okay? Right now, I see that we have, two of the council members here, but we could literally do the entire thing virtually if we wanted to. So the type of way we do it will be left to us, and it's rather broad language. Either I put in here either visually or just through telephones or whatever. So I'm looking for a motion, and I'll be more than happy to answer any questions.
I wanted to ask you a question on
Yes,
that.
sir.
Should this pass, is it going to be retroactive back to the beginning of this meeting, so everything that we discussed in this meeting would count?
Yes, and I'm only smiling because some of the legal commentary is it would be retroactive. There was no way to pass this prior to having a virtual
That's why I
meeting.
was asking you.
It's a great question. I asked
Okay.
to say there's no other way to do it, quote
Okay.
unquote.
All right. So that having been said, I wanted to open this item up for discussion amongst the council. And at this time, I'll open the floor for anyone who has any comments, questions, and/or motions. And those appearing telephonically can weigh in as well. I know that we have Councilman Dittmer and Councilman Kinsella electronically as well.
Yeah, this is Vice Mayor Dittmer speaking. I think we should proceed with the resolution. I'm for it. A couple of things I'd like to add to that. I'm happy to see that we are keeping our ramps open so people can at least get out their homes and maybe do a little voting. Secondly, I have spoken to Commissioner Mike Wells, and he has given us a commitment to partnership on our repairs. So we will get hopefully into that a little later.
Couldn't hear.
Thank you. At this time, I was going to see if there was any other motions or discussion. I was going to see if Councilman Kinsella wished to make any comments at this point.
Yeah, this is Councilman Kinsella. Nothing at this time. Thank you.
This is Councilman Todd McClary. Motion to pass the resolution as read.
Todd, you'll have to repeat that. I couldn't hear that.
This is Councilman McClary. Motion to pass the resolution as read.
Second the motion. This is Vice Mayor Bill Dittmer.
At this time, there's no comments from the public, so at this time, I'd like to just put it to a vote. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Councilman Dittmer, aye.
Any opposed? Because this is electronic, I would like to poll to make sure that we have the appropriate votes.
I have Mayor Scott Tremblay as a yay. I have Councilman Todd McClary as a yay. I have Vice Mayor William Dittmer as a yay. And I have Councilman Tom Kinsella as a yay.
Yes.
Correct.
Thank you. At this time, item 1 passes. At this time, is there any other comments? If not, we're looking for a motion to adjourn.
This is Councilman Todd McClary. Motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Meeting adjourned. Meeting adjourned. Meeting adjourned.
Gavel.